Good morning. I have to stop doing the research on Zen Gardner because I didn't find what I was looking for. But anyway, you'll understand that when I get into it this morning. The title is a question. Why is everyone included in the OPPT? I read Zen Gardner's blog about the OPPT that was posted on my wall by my friend Peter Egler. He wrote, quote, "I feel hijacked. They roped in me, you, and everyone else on the planet, including the Creator, just like that. Where did they get that permission? Didn't get mine. Pretty presumptuous if you ask me." End quote. They didn't ask us in the old system either. They just included us. Who are they? And what right did they have? They are those that think from the place of unity consciousness. I'm talking about the real power behind what happens on this planet and throughout the cosmos. They, the power behind the puppets appearing on the stage that we can see, always think in terms of the whole, whether dark or light. And they are the only ones that actually see the bigger picture of reality. We were all included in the old matrix because that's where we were consciously. And we are all included in the OPPT because that is where we are all going consciously. We're just not all there yet. And I noticed a mistake as I read that. Where did I see it? Put an extra letter in. Oh, I'll have to find it later. Oh, yeah, it's I read this read the post by Peter just before I went to bed last night. And so that was one of the things that was on my mind this morning as I was meditating. And I actually came a little bit later to the computer this morning because I was still digesting this. Where does he get off on calling, including everybody? Where do they get off on including everybody? You know, don't we get a chance to vote on this? Don't we get a chance to put our 2 cents in? Well, yes, you do. This is a free will zone. But all universal consciousness, which is Creator, includes everyone in the creation. There's nothing outside of that. We need to understand that. It doesn't matter whether it's playing on the dark stage or the light stage. Everyone is included because that's the reality of the cosmos. That's the reality of what is, the reality of the world. It's the law of one. It is unity consciousness. Now we are playing in separation consciousness, in the old matrix, and I suspect we will be in the new matrix that's coming. It's a new world order. Is it a new world order where everyone is a slave, even those that are playing the role of leaders? Because they are slaves too, remember. It's all or nothing. From the divine perspective, there is no separation. And even in the religions, now I can't speak for every religion, but Christianity was a universal religion. That's what the Catholic means. It means universal. And it included everyone. Jesus died for all because all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. In other words, all became unconscious. All became unconscious. All forgot who we were. All of us. Some remembered a little bit more than others along the way. And those were the ones that were usually killed or ostracized or whatever. They were set apart from the rest of the people that didn't know and judged in ignorance. Just as people now sit and judge the OPPT in ignorance, still trying to maintain the illusion of separation. Well, who included me? I don't want to be in this thing. Well, you are in this thing, whether you like it or not, whether you want to be or not. We all are in this. We're in it together, regardless of the state of our awakening, regardless of the state of our consciousness, regardless of whether we can see it yet or not, regardless of whether we resonate yet or not. We're still all included, because that's the reality of creation. Creation is one. Creator is one. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. We are one faith, one family, one people. And so the one people's public trust is for everyone, recognizing that not everyone is there yet. Not everyone has awakened to that reality yet. Not everyone has been able to connect the dots. Now, Zen Gardner tries to connect the dots and take it back to the, I'm not on that page now, I'm even in a different browser. He says that Heather uses the word they, speaking of they need this. Well, people that are seeing from unity consciousness look at the people that aren't there yet and refer to them as they. It's still us and them, because we're still living in the paradigm of separation. But we're moving toward the paradigm of integration. And that's what we need to grasp. Yes, OPPT included everyone. What right did they have? The right of speaking from the Creator's perspective. That no one is left out. That no one is to be left behind. No one is to be excluded. No one, unless they can choose to be. They can choose not to participate yet. And you can in the OPPT. But unlike the other remedies that have come down the pike to restore sovereignty of the individual, unlike all the others that I've studied, the OPPT is all-inclusive. That's why I resonate with it. It's coming from the Creator's perspective. It's coming from the truth of what is. In Lakesh, everybody is just another me. Namaste. That which is in me, I see in you, and we are one. This is the consciousness of the new creation. This is the consciousness of the new heaven and the new earth. And it was interesting. I woke up several times through the night last night, as early as between 12 and 1 o'clock. And I only went to bed. When did I go to bed? Between 9:30 and 10. And I was already waking up before 1 o'clock. And I dozed back off for a little while, and I'd have another dream. But anyway, in one place, I was giving somebody a ride, and they were going to New City. And I pondered on that this morning, too. What is this new city? Well, there's a new city being born, the city of God, that's being born, that's being birthed out of the old. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes out of the old. The old, we were all included too. All of us were part of the old structure, the old consciousness, the consciousness of separation. We were all part of that, and many of us are still in that consciousness. But we are all included now in this new city. It doesn't matter. You don't get to vote on it, because there's nothing to vote on. It's the reality. It's the reality. And you are allowed to go through your process of discovering the reality that there's no more us and them, that there's only us. You can go through your process of discovering that, but you're going to discover it ultimately, because that is the bedrock truth of creation. All creation comes from one source, not two, but one. We have had the appearance, which is why we have so much confusion. We've had the confusion of thinking that there were two powers, and that they were opposing each other and operating against each other. That's the illusion. They really weren't operating against each other. They were operating as one divine plan, one purpose, one mission. The mission is to materialize the spiritual world, to bring that which appears separate to the consciousness of interconnectedness, to the conscious awareness that I am you and you are me and we are one and we're all in this together, and we sink together or we swim together, but there's only together. There is no separation. And I'd like to figure out where Zen is coming from, and all these other people that are so opposed and think that they're being trapped in some kind of a diabolical scheme. I'd like to know where they're coming from. Well, I know where they're coming from. They're coming from separation consciousness. Pure and simple. It's separation consciousness. And the part of us that doubts the OPPT and doubts it is the part of us that doubts that we really are one. We're still a little bit stuck in the idea that we can each go a different way, and in some respects we can, but we're not really separate. We're just explorers. We're just explorers. And love, as I said yesterday, includes everything, even fear, even the negative emotions, even the dark side, even the people that don't get it. Love includes it all. And that's what my heart is wanting me to see and wanting me to share. Love sees it all as one. One. Unity. Unity consciousness. Awareness that we are the same family. The family of sentient beings, and it's not just on Earth. It spans the universe. Universes of universes. It's the one song. It's the one poem. The one novel. The one story. The one dream. The dream is to appear in physical bodies, apparently separate, apparently isolated, and then to remember that we are just parts of a bigger creation, a wholeness, an inclusiveness. We are one. That's the message that the OPPT brings us. It, unlike Rusa, and unlike all of the other schemes to create our unity, which were on an individual level, separation, we're still creating something that there's insiders and there's outsiders. There's people that get it and people that don't get it. There's believers and there's non-believers. And we are the right group. We are the ones that really see it. The OPPT is from a totally different perspective. And yes, I would expect the OPPT is connected to people that have been on the dark side, as well as people that have been on the light side, as we've appeared, as it has appeared in the Matrix, as it has appeared in the illusion of separation. So it doesn't surprise me at all that the energies, the dark and the light, come together to create this one people's public trust, which is for everyone. When you see it, your heart will rejoice. Until you see it, you're still arguing for separation. And if that's what you want to experience, go at it. Experience the separation. But Spirit, God, Creator, Prime Source, whatever you want to call it, Allah, whatever name you want to give it, is working to bring the conscious awareness back home, centered, where everyone is the center and within the circumference that is infinite. Everyone. We're all there. Can you see it? Can you feel it? Do you know it? So, why is everyone included in the OPPT? Because We are one people. We are one creation. In, not under, but in one Creator that many on earth refer to as God. I'm glad that I'm included, and I'm glad everyone else is as well. Thank you for listening. Namaste.